Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever the hell you're listening to this. You're listening to Nerds Talking Sports, Sports Pod with Dad Pods. This is your host, JackKnife, alongside your other hosts, Tommy Joe and D. Zach Daniels. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Pretty good. Daytona 500 is happening, so.
Yeah, man. I see Tom has a beer, and as of the Daytona 500, I'm taking a break from it as well.
Really?
I stepped on a scale and was like, something needs to change.
Yeah, get off it.
Diet has the word die in it, okay? No coincidence.
Listen, you did dry January. I don't want to hear from you. Are you still dry in February?
No.
Okay,
well,
good.
I'm still wet, so.
Pause.
But yeah, I'm doing good too, gentlemen. Just because I'm still good because the Patriots lost the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm not letting you forget that.
I mean, you can say that for a whole year.
I know. And listen, I didn't scold them last week for the worst thing they possibly could have done. They had Bon Jovi introduce them.
Yeah, I'm surprised you missed that. I'm surprised you missed on talking about that last week.
Yeah, because no one loves Bon Jovi more than me.
Really? Yeah. Are you a Bon Jovi hater?
He is, absolutely.
Well, here's the thing. I think Bon Jovi...
Don't sugarcoat it, Jack.
Well, let me put it this way. In reality, I think Bon Jovi's okay. I like some of his songs, but growing up in New Jersey, people act like he's one of the greatest rockers of all time. I'm like, you think that because he's from New Jersey. What?
I'll take him over Bruce.
For me, it's opposite. To me, Bruce Springsteen has a distinct sound to him where like Bon Jovi doesn't sound any different than any other 80s hair band.
Yeah, he sounds like a good genre of music.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like, are you Bon Jovi or Bruce Springsteen? I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm like a census fail and a fit for an autopsy guy. Like, that's just the metal side of me. I mean, like, is there? I'm trying to think.
Old Bridge, New Jersey, Overkill.
Hey,
that's right, Overkill. That's why they're so popular. There you go.
Oh, they're saying Old Bridge was Overkill. Sorry. No, yes. Isn't a Day to Remember or no?
Florida. A Day to Remember Florida.
Which was the one that was inspired by
My Chemical Romance?
Yes, My
Chemical. And Census Fail was another. Yeah, did I census? I probably said.
I think
you thought. Hey, you thought people were mad at me over my Tom Brady take? Watch this, fellas. I did not care for Welcome to the Black Parade.
Well, that feels like something that I would have to argue for. But here's the thing: I was never a huge emo guy anyway. Honestly, I didn't get the fad. I was just into metal, but that I do love that song. So I don't know how. I don't know. I mean, if you guys like Kiss, so I don't understand either.
Kiss is one of those bands people either really love or really hate. But I put an asterisk because I love the original lineup with Ace Frehley. Rest in peace.
Fair. Rest in peace, Ace.
I like the original lineup, but I was also a big fan of the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, Bruce Kulick was awesome.
With Eric Carr and Bruce Kulick. And Eric Singer. Eric Singer was good too.
I'm just like, give me a metal band, and if I don't know them, I'll give them a listen. And I mean, I've heard of most, but like, I'm like, yeah, dude, you like extreme music? I love it. I'm in. You're cool to me.
I mean, your daughter even loves extreme music.
Yeah, we're raising her well.
It's good raising them right. But anyway, before we get started, we got to fill our financial obligations. Tom, you're going to take a big step today. You're going to do the sponsor read this time.
I am sorry, James, if I butcher this. If I do, I can always change it because I have the power of editing on my side.
Well, hey, I set the standard, okay? You have a lot to live up to.
This episode is brought to you by Recoil Garage, your local diesel, fleet, and performance specialist right here in Howell, New Jersey. Recoil Garage handles everything from everyday repairs to high-performance builds. Over 15 years of mechanic experience, we've got the skills to keep you moving. With extensive experience and a background in diesel fleet service, Recoil Garage delivers the quality you can trust. Comprehensive vehicle services such as motorcycle and power sports service, automotive repair, performance upgrades and custom builds, diesel diagnostics and repair, marine and boat repair work, and fleet maintenance programs. Whether it's your weekend toy or your daily driver, we treat every vehicle like it's our own. Support the brand. Recoil Garage merch available too. T-shirts, hoodies, and sticker packs straight from the online store. Visit recoilgarage.com. That's recoilgarage.com. Book your service today.
Good job, Tom. Not bad, not bad.
I ain't stutter at all, surprisingly.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
our boy James, I'm sure, is going to be listening this week.
Yes.
Because Tom, I'll let you take over. But fellas, we all hung out on Sunday.
We did.
you missed a great opportunity for a pun there, Zach. Tom, take the wheel.
He's basically our Jesus.
As his ashes are in view right now.
It's a sign. No, yes, we all hung out this weekend. We hung out on Sunday. We watched the 500, had a little get together. It was a good time. I know I watched all of Speed Week. I refuse to call it Speed Weeks because it's literally not weeks. It's Speed Week. It starts Wednesday and goes to Sunday. It's 5 days.
It's a business week.
I was just gonna say it's Speed Business Week. But no, I thought it was pretty good. The ARCA race was interesting. Isabella Robusto was looking really good. She was leading. She was up front with that new team, Nitro Motorsports, which took over Venturini Motorsports. They were a 6-car team, so the more cars you have at a draft track like that, usually you get them all together and they can do better. But unfortunately, also with that, the more cars you have, better chance you have of getting wrecked. But Isabella I believe she had engine issues, so like halfway through the race, so she retired early, which was sad. And now I'm blanking on who won that race. Was it Ruggiero? No. Yes, I think it was Ruggiero.
Want me to look it up for you, Tom?
Yes, I know it was Joe Gibbs. I think it was I can't think of his first name, but Ruggiero. Pretty sure he won the race. The truck race had some pretty big names in it. You had Tony Stewart, Travis Pastrana, and a YouTuber, Cletus McFarlane. I am a Cletus fan. I've been watching his channel since, I want to say right when he got Leroy. For anyone that watches Cletus, that's fairly early.
Gio Ruggiero, by the way.
Thank you. He was in the truck race as well because the truck race was first.
Oh, wow.
I will say this. I know Cletus has his own racetrack. He's a hell of a wheel man. It's one thing to go fast. It's another thing to race well. I think a great example of that would be Danica Patrick. She had really good speed. She just couldn't race in the pack well. If she's by herself, she's fine. She had a lot of speed. Straight up speed. She probably was faster than others. But once it got going into the race, that's where she struggled a lot. Anyway, Cletus, I think, is another example of that, where he has speed. He practiced well, he qualifies well, but just racing in the packs, racing at Daytona, it's a big undertaking, especially if it's something you haven't done before in a truck, because a lot of people say it's like driving a piece of plywood, like sideways, because there's just a lot of air. I think he needs a lot more time in ARCA, and he needs more time in trucks at non-super speedway tracks. I'm not saying it's never. I know why NASCAR did it, because he's as a gabillion subscribers on YouTube, and that's more eyes watching your race. That's more eyes for your sponsors and this and that. I get that, but I don't think he should have raced the trucks.
Quick interruption by me here. I was looking him up after you guys brought him up, and I saw our group chat going off about him before the race, and I'm like, who's this Cletus McFarlane guy? Why is he what's the hype? And then I realized I think I watched one of his like videos of like a bunch of Nissan Altimas racing at his track or something.
Yes, he has the Nissan Altima 500 or whatever it is.
I was like, holy shit, I watched that. And I'm like, okay, this is an interesting driver. And then I did see, and I didn't even catch most of the truck race. I only saw the beginning, and I think I saw his crash, and I was like, well, that was quick.
I mean, he had enough skill.
Yeah, even I watched it, and I was like, oh, man, I was rooting for you, Cletus.
The truck race, I will say, all three of NASCAR's main events this weekend had a wreck happen on the last lap, and neither of them threw the yellow. Props to NASCAR.
Yes, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I feel like they've been scared. I felt like they might have been scared to do that ever since the whole Ryan Newman incident years ago, but I guess they've eased up on it.
Well, I don't think that was different. That happened at the line.
Okay.
I mean, throwing the yellow there, I don't think really
Yeah.
changes that. I mean, the reason why they don't race back to the line anymore, because I believe it was Dale Jarrett wrecked at New Hampshire right before the line, and they threw the yellow, and back then you would race back to the line.
Okay.
Well, he was like in the middle of the road and almost got hit. In the middle of the track and almost got hit. And like, all right, we got to change this. So they changed it to when the yellow comes out, you know, you don't race back to the line anymore. This is different because they still don't do that, but they didn't throw the yellow. They allowed the drivers to get back to the start finish line. And we got 3 great finishes. Ironically, there's also another thing. There's 2 other coincidences that happened. You had a Ford that won the truck race, a Chevy that won the O'Reilly race, and you had a Toyota win the Cup race.
Perfectly balanced.
Triple crown.
You also had Front Row Motorsports win the truck race, who was involved in the lawsuit. You had RCR win the it was Xfinity win the O'Reilly race, who was mentioned in the lawsuit. And then you had Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin on 2311 win the 500, who was also in the lawsuit. Kind of interesting.
It's a psyop. It's another psyop.
It's another psyop.
I mean, that's not the worst files you could be named in these days.
I mean, speaking of NASCAR drivers and files, Brian Vickers, Michael Waltrip. Anyway.
What?
Jack, we can look that on later.
Okay.
So the Xfinity race was pretty good. Unfortunately,
You called it Xfinity again.
I did. I'm gonna say that a lot. The
It's gonna
O'Reilly
happen a lot.
race, the no abs race, had a pretty good finish. Unfortunately, Austin Hill won again. But you know, I was saying it in all the group chats. The field gave Austin Hill that win because they did nothing. They weren't together. They weren't working together. They were all just trying to use each other to get around them, and Austin Hill was just gone. The Cup race. There was a lot of fuel saving, but it wasn't as apparent as it was in years past, where they're literally going like a third throttle. It was better. There was a lot of racing, a lot of lead changes.
It was the most, I think, in NASCAR in
It was the
Daytona
most
500 history.
history. There was, I think, it was 60 something. There were 60 something. But there were, I think it made it 28, 29 lead changes.
Oh wait, maybe it was leaders. Like maybe they had
maybe it was like 60 something like lead changes with like 29 different leaders.
Yeah, it was some crazy amount of different names as well.
65 lead changes with a record-setting 25 different leaders.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, record-setting 25 leaders. Yeah.
And if you liked what happened this weekend, you'll get to see it again because this weekend, they're at Atlanta, which is now Echo Park Automotive Speedway.
I got so confused when I read
Atlanta.
That.
It's Atlanta. Echo Park is actually another B2B business where I believe SMI owned, not SMI, but Bruton Smith. Not Bruton Smith. Bruton's the father. What's his name? Smith. I can't think of his first name. Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith. He owns Echo Park Automotive, which is like a car dealership.
Okay.
So that's why it's called Echo Park Automotive.
Whatever. You know, it's still lame.
It's like, it's funny because like so many people called Charlotte Lowe's for the longest time after it went back to Charlotte. And now there's a new sponsor for a racetrack and people just refuse to call it that. I don't think I hear anybody organically or naturally call it Echo Park Automotive Speedway.
No. I'm going to be honest. When I was playing NASCAR Thunder growing up, I saw Lowe's and was like, the hell is Lowe's? What the hell is
it was Lowe's for the longest time.
Like,
are you saying like what is like Lowe's or like what's the Speedway?
No, like the brand Lowe's, right? That's what it was, right?
Yeah, Lowe's home.
Yeah,
group.
no, I was reading that back then. I was like, what, like the company, and thinking like, is there a Lowe's County in like South Carolina or something? Like, what is Lowe's?
No. But yeah, so I guess there's one more thing we should address here. Usually when a car, when there's a wreck, and then, you know, a couple of business days later, another car slams into that wreck, that's known as ARCA brakes. There's a lot of jokes saying that in ARCA, they shouldn't even give them brakes because they don't even use them anyway. Good job for ARCA series. There was no examples of ARCA breaks in the ARCA race. I'll give them that. However, Natalie Decker. Now, first and foremost, I don't want to come off as a misogynist or sexist. I have no issue with women in motorsports. I think women can be great in motorsports. I don't know of a great way to compare it to, but I say that Natalie Decker sets back women in motorsports before Danica Patrick era. She's just not good. She gets a sponsorship, she gets these deals, and every time she steps foot into a race car, she proves why she should be nowhere near a race car. You have greats like Zayd, can't think of her name, Jade Adverson, I think her name is Jade, Isabella Robusto. You have Taylor, can't think of her last name, but I know it's making me.
I'm sorry, I can't help you on this.
You can't help me with this, but there are good examples of women in motorsports, because it sucks because motorsports itself really is a male-dominated sport. It doesn't have to be, but it is. It's just that's the way it's been for so many years, and there's a change to that, and you could say that Natalie sucks and doesn't deserve a ride, and you can also say that there are tons of male drivers out there that have rides that shouldn't have rides either. Just because I have an opinion on one driver doesn't mean I don't carry that same opinion across the garage. For example, I don't think Harrison Burton deserves a ride. I don't think Jeb Burton deserves a ride. Harrison Burton had no business being in the Cup Series in the 21 car. Absolutely no business being in the Cup Series. Quinn Houff had absolutely no business being in the Cup Series. Even Cody Ware. I mean, he showed some speed. He showed some speed on Sunday, but I mean, he's kind of like hit or miss. Trying to go through like my mental list here.
It's like that movie with Tina Fey years ago called Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, where she's like a reporter in the Middle East, and just in the trailer she goes, "Oh, that sucks. That sucks for women." Basically, you apply that to the Natalie Decker situation.
Now, apparently, she's coming back to Pocono. Hopefully, there's enough outrage here that doesn't happen. But like, she could do whatever she wants. Just don't include NASCAR in it.
I was gonna say, did you even get into like what happened that to warrant like why we're bringing her up, or?
Oh, I mentioned she had the ARCA brakes.
Okay.
So to recap the incident, I forgot what caused the incident, but you had
it was Daytona. There was a crash on turn 4.
You had Sheldon Creed, who was wrecked. It was turn 2. He was wrecked out of turn 2, and he has no brakes. The car's wrecked. He's rolling, and she comes in flying.
I think I got the names for you, Tom. So I believe I'm sorry, I don't want to like take this thunder here. I've been watching it because I'm like trying to figure out if Natalie Decker's at all like redeemable, and there's really not. I think it was Ryan Sieg spun out, and he took a couple cars with him, and I think Sammy Mayer was the one who, like, his car was junked, so it ended up rolling.
It was Sheldon Creed that she hit.
It was Sheldon Creed. I thought it was Mayer.
Oh no, yes, it was Mayer because it was the 41. Yeah. Yes,
I've seen it because I've been watching, and I'm like, I haven't heard. I mean, we don't have to go into like the Zapruder film like level review, but I almost want to know like what was her spotter saying? What did she see? Like what was the on camera like?
Apparently, her spotter was telling her to stay high, but she never.
So it was probably the guy's fault. Okay, see, women love us again.
But she never slowed down. Like you still have
that was the problem.
You still have to slow down. Like you should have the mental capacity to see a wreck, especially with that much time, and think he's not stopping. He's wrecked. Let me slow down. Or hey, I'm approaching a possible debris field here. Let me slow down so I can see what I'm driving through. Yeah. And she eventually does slow down, but it's way too late. Like there wasn't even tire marks of her like locking up the brakes, and she ends up going in between the wall and Sam Mayer and destroying her car. And she gets on the radio saying how much it hurt, which I'm sure it did. I'm sure it hurt a lot.
No one disagrees
really bad
with
hit. That is a very bad hit, a very hard hit, and I'm sure that hurt a lot. And then the first thing she says, "Who was that? Who does it? Who just lets their car roll, doesn't hit the brakes? Why did he do that?" I want to go to his pit.
Projection.
I can't believe that. I couldn't, and you know what's funny? The announcers when I saw the clip, the announcers tried to politely as possible. I'm sure, I'm serious. And again, it's like we have to keep saying it, but the truth is, like, this literally has zero to do with women. It has everything to do with like
just
what is she doing?
Just this particular person.
Yeah, and watching it and hearing that response and going, what is he supposed to do? The car was junked and just rolling up the banking, and it was the last car in like a 4 or 5 car wreck, maybe a little more, but like it was one of the more dinged up ones, and it just slowly rolled up into the wall. And yeah, she was just going way too fast and crushed him. Like he was almost he wasn't at a full stop, but he was going slow, so he went from slow to spinning again.
Exactly.
It was like,
and his car is
it's like the wrecking days. It's like the wrecking days of thunder. Rest in peace, Robert Duvall.
Yes. Yeah. And when your cars are already wrecked, the parts of the car that are designed to absorb the impact have already absorbed the impact, or they're missing. So now it's a much harder hit because you don't have that much protection left, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, I feel bad for Sam. I mean, and I do in some aspect do feel bad for Natalie, because that was a very hard hit, but that was all her fault. I mean, this is the same person we're talking about here that got spun out by a wrecker at Bristol.
Yes. yes.
Like,
I don't know. I don't know what else.
And then she's on a podcast bragging about how she got groomed by her husband.
Dude,
like,
she had a horrible week.
What?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't see this, Jack? My
God.
God.
Did she just have a kid with him?
Yes.
Well, now they're 30. They're in their 30s.
Yes,
I don't know how old she is. They're like almost our age, you know. So
they're both adults.
Yeah.
And they're still married, I presume.
Yes, they're still married. But apparently she was like 14 or 15. Really doesn't matter. Like, doesn't make it. Oh, she was 15. It wasn't that bad. Like, she was either 14 or 15, and her husband hit her up on Instagram and said, "Let me know when you turn 18."
Yeah, that's
like
legally, that is like
that is
definition
of grooming. Like, you couldn't get that out of me.
And this podcast is demonetized.
But like,
what do you mean demonetized?
We're not monetized.
you know what I mean.
Jack, you almost want us to not be monetized if that's the way you're going to talk about it. Listen, that's exactly what that is, though. That is grooming, 100%.
Literally,
that is textbook grooming.
I saw that clip and was like, "Wow, that's a wild thing to admit on a podcast." And then she does then the accident happens, and I'm like, "This is the worst weekend I've ever seen. This is the worst weekend I've ever seen."
PR for her was terrible, because she also had those pictures with Brett Chrysler. Did you see those?
Yeah, like that I saw.
Like, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know, but it was a fun weekend. Otherwise, it's just it stinks that like that kind of clouded over what was me and you. I mean, Jack, I hope you saw it, because I think you had to leave a little early, but we all.
Oh yeah, the finish for the 500 was spectacular. I mean,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with my favorite driver, Kurt Busch, retired. I guess I'm kind of a Hendrick guy now. Like, I'll root for the Hendrick cars. I guess Chase it. Like, I know that's mostly because of you, Tom, but I guess Chase is my favorite driver. How original! And I'm like, oh my god, he's got the lead last lap 500, but it's Daytona. I'm looking at it. I'm like, they could still like catch them. Get a good groove behind him and possibly overtake him, and that's exactly what Tyler Reddick did.
Dude, Tyler Reddick was like a rocket at the end.
He was right there, like he was a rocket. And you know who else was a rocket? Riley Herbst.
Riley Herbst turned into a rocket and exploded.
he had the opportunity to push Chase past Reddick. Obviously, he didn't want to do that.
No.
So he tried to get the run around Chase, and I think he made contact with Keselowski.
And that's when the crash happened.
I think he hit the wall and just rebounded and took. But here's the thing, though. Reddick was so fast, and the push by Herbst sent him into like another dimension. It
really
speed.
did.
And like, and Tom and I think Jack knows. Like, I've been saying I've liked Reddick. I don't know why. I mean,
You've liked
I
Reddick.
did.
You've liked
I've
Reddick.
I've won. He won me a sick bet at Talladega when Michael McDowell took
Yes,
out
I
like
remember
the whole
that. I
field
remember that.
before the ending, and he like zoomed through the pack, and I was like, oh yeah, I liked him ever since then. And he's been like a guy that runs in the top 10 quite often.
Well, he
And
was winless last year, and this is how he broke his
Yeah.
winless streak. I mean,
Yeah, he was.
what's a
he
better
was
way to do
winless.
that?
Yeah, wasn't he like shitting and farting in the car once?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. That was him. That was him. I
He
was like, this guy's a
farting.
trooper. He was shitting and farting, and he was still driving.
We'll say this about MJ. You know, LeBron this, LeBron that. How many Harley J. Earl trophies does LeBron have?
0.
Michael has 1.
0.
So far.
MJ's
So
my
far.
goat.
Yes, he is.
Oh.
But anyway, Tom, anything else to add about NASCAR this week?
I think that pretty much wraps it up. We got Atlanta. We have Atlanta next week.
The pizza was good. The taquitos were good. The vibes were good.
Always.
Yeah, chicken rings too, and the buck yingling. You got it right.
I'm still not a huge fan, but
I like it.
no, wait,
What?
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Yingling.
Yeah.
Huge
You know,
fan.
The Bach beer is so good. Even my wife was like, "This isn't bad." Actually, my wife doesn't like Yingling, but she kind of enjoyed it. Anyway,
Jill just hates beer. So
What is
Right.
she- well, wait, she's normal.
yeah. So I guess that's wrap it up. I guess we can. I can't think of a transition here. So Jack,
well, let's get out of our fire suits and lace up the skates. We're heading to the Olympics to talk about specifically
Curling, right?
ice hockey.
oh,
Curling. They don't wear skates in curling, which is surprising. Apparently, there's a big scandal with cheating.
Canada.
I did not look into that because, quite frankly, I don't really care for curling. But
real quick. Apparently, you're not supposed to touch the
Rock.
rock. There's a name I can't think of. You're not supposed to touch the rock after let's go. And apparently, like Team Canada, like just literally just like boop.
I saw the Canadian guy talking shit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I think everyone started tuning into curling. Like, yo, are they gonna fight? Like, this is awesome. I've been seeing a lot of curling content, but
I mean, you
know
put
Jack-
Canadians on ice, they're gonna fight.
but I know Jack's got the hockey, so
Yes.
like I want some updates because also I've been seeing it from my buddies Josh and Dave, big hockey fans. They've been following. I'm a big fan of Freebird, so I think that's the coolest
Yes.
thing in all
yes,
sports right now.
they literally cannot make another goal song for the United States of America. Just
Nope.
the guitar solo going into Freebird. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
It's like
Chef's kiss.
It's like the Tom Brady meme, and they kept playing Freebird.
But before we go into see what's going on with the Olympics, here's something we haven't done a while. Get you guys to pronounce hockey names. So if you go into the tab of our Google Doc, I have 7 names listed for you. Tom,
Okay.
you could go first, and then Zach, you could go second.
Do you want us
All
to
right.
go at the same time?
Oh my
Like not
god!
at the same time. Like, do you want us to go like I go then he goes?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, but like alternate, not just like
Whoa,
I do
whoa,
Yes.
all of
whoa,
them.
whoa,
Okay.
whoa, whoa,
Yes, yes,
okay.
alternate, obviously, and then you could probably put the faces and names up in post.
Okay, so
You don't have to
first-
tell us that, Jack. Wait, hold on a second. You're telling me
and
that...
don't tell us we're right until after Zach goes.
Yes.
Okay, well, duh, yeah, okay.
All right,
Tom.
let's do it.
Tom,
Jimmy Johnson.
okay, give me an actual. Yes.
Um,
I don't even want to try this one.
Jurgig Silvosky.
I'm not even gonna listen. I'm not
Zach.
even gonna listen. Oh, you want me to go? Oh, you want me
Yes.
to go?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Sorry, we're gonna alternate. I wanted him to do all of these, so I'm afraid. Juraj Slavosky.
Yaroshlavskovsky.
Okay. Who got closer? Who got closer?
I feel like maybe Zach did, but neither
Okay.
one of you got it. That's all that matters. It counts just the same.
Okay,
number 2.
I got this first name, Elvis.
Duh.
I'm not gonna
Elvis?
listen.
Elvis Merzlikins.
Zach.
Elvis. Oh God, Elvis Mertzlikens.
Tom, I think you got it. Elvis Merzlikins.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, number 3.
Radko Gudis.
Zach?
Radko Gudas.
I think Zach's right.
Other way around. Tom, Radko Gudis. You got it.
Gudis.
All right.
Okay.
After
I said it, I was like, oh, that might be Gudas.
Yeah, no, I Gouda or something, but I maybe sometimes it's the next one. I don't know what the next one is. Oh my
Okay,
God.
Tom, go.
Kirill. I could hear it in my head. Kirill Kaprizov.
Zach?
Kirill Kaprizov.
Kirill Kaprizov.
Ooh,
I don't think either of us got that one.
I was close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom is close. Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Okay. Number 5.
Matteo Olivier.
Mathieu Olivier.
Zach, you're on the board. Matthew Olivier.
Yeah. That's French, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. I took French. I knew that one. That
Right.
was very easy for me.
Yeah. Number 6.
What the fuck?
Pavel Dorifev.
Pavel Dori. Whoa. Pavel Dorofev. What the fuck?
Pavel Dorofeyev.
Yeah.
Dorofeyev. It really was like pronouncing every letter.
All right. And last but not least.
Nicholas Roy.
Zach?
No, I know that this is because of famous Avalanche goalie Nicholas
And
Waugh.
Canadians.
And Canadians. Nicholas Waugh.
Oh, damn French.
Zach, you're correct. It's Nicholas Roy.
Yes. All right. So I think we was 7.
I think
Tom.
you guys tied.
We kind of tied because I don't think
I wasn't
either of
keeping
us got-
score.
Yeah, well, I wasn't.
I
either.
got Kirill and Radko.
Yeah. You also got Elvis.
And Elvis.
I got close
Yes.
with whatever the fuck that first one was. That you should have put that one last.
You
Jack.
got
that one.
You got 1 and 5, and I think 6.
And I think 6 we kind of like tied on. We both were kind of wrong, but I knew Nicholas Waugh. I was like, yeah, that's a slam dunk. That should have. I'm telling you, say that first one again, Jack.
Slavkovsky.
Bro, that's who puts an F next to a V and a K?
The Russians.
What is this?
Slovakian. I think he's Slovakian. Now I have to.
Close enough.
What's the difference?
Yeah,
English
he's
wise, close
Slovakian. But yeah,
So
he's.
I think next week what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up racing flags, and you got to give the definition.
Okay,
Ooh.
I think I could do that. I think I could get at least 75% of them. But
All right,
okay,
Put it on the.
but yes,
put it on the board.
Yaroslavkovsky is one of many first overall picks that made it to the Olympics this year. I think only one first overall pick didn't go to the Olympics this year. Alexei Lafreniere of the New York Rangers. But anyway, let's get into the Olympics hockey. As far as the women go, they face Canada for the gold medal tomorrow. Tomorrow at the time of this recording. Good luck, ladies, listeners. You'll know who won by the time you listen to this. And here's a joke that just writes itself. Tom Wilson of Canada got into a fight with Pierre Crinon of Team France, and Team France banned Crinon for the rest of the tournament for fighting.
What?
That's he's French. That's just a joke that writes itself.
It's amazing.
But yeah, earlier today, the men's finals 4 are set. It's the USA, Canada, Slovakia, and Finland. 34. Oh, thank you, Tom. Yeah, we are. The first game that I'll summarize the Canada game and the USA game. Canada advanced to the semis with an overtime win over Czechia. Nick Suzuki, who was snubbed from the Four Nations face-off, tied it with 3.5 minutes left after deflecting a shot from Devon Tays. Mitch Marner won it in overtime. They're doing the NHL 3-on-3 overtime. And in this game, Sidney Crosby took an awkward hit from the aforementioned Radko Gudis that sent him out for the remainder of the game. Like, he couldn't even put weight on that leg. We'll see if he's available for the semi. That's going to be part of a topic I'm going to bring up later. and Czechia took a 3-2 lead. And when they scored, they had 6 skaters on the ice. For context, the goalie was still in the net. So obviously they got away with too many men. Like, even if you look at the celebration, you could see there's 6 guys in the celebration.
Oh no.
And
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was missed. Anyway, time for the boys in the red, white, and blue. Team USA faced Sweden this matchup today. Hadn't beaten Sweden in 66 years in the Olympics.
Wow.
Like, they did face him in 1980, the last time the USA won the gold medal, the famous Miracle on Ice, but that was a tie. But anyway, that changed today as they won in overtime, 2-1. Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings.
They can't beat Russia this year, right?
Russia's not in it.
I know.
I know. That went right over my head. Scoring for the USA was Dylan Larkin in the second, deflecting a Jack Hughes shot to open the scoring. With a minute and a half left, Rangers forward Mika Zibanejad with a one-timer goal with the goalie pulled, tied the game up at 1. Mika Zibanejad, 3 goals and 3 assists this tournament. If there's one positive I could say about the Rangers this year, Mika Zibanejad has appeared to find himself again. But in overtime, about 3-4-ish minutes in, Quinn Hughes of the Minnesota Wild, who we traded to the Minnesota Wild this year, beautiful shot to give the USA the win. And this is after he waved off the coaches who told him to come to the bench for the next faceoff. He had a good chance to play right before that. Mike Sullivan, who is the Rangers head coach, is the head coach for Team USA. The coach staff was trying to get a defensive change. Quinn's like, no, I'm good. Keep me out here. And he made good on his word with the goal. Some stats. Connor Hellebuyck of Team USA and the Winnipeg Jets leads all goalies with a 95.77% save percentage. Wow. Macklin Celebrini of the San Jose Sharks and of Team Canada leads the tournament in goals with 5. Connor McDavid, the best player in the world, and of the Edmonton Oilers, with 11 points this tournament to lead it. No surprise there. But for comparison, McDavid has 11. Austin Matthews and Quinn Hughes are tied for 6 points to lead Team USA. So that's a 5-point difference. Hughes does lead defensemen in the tournament, however. And but still for USA, a lot of guys are still contributing. There's the Tkachuk brothers. There's Quinn Hughes' brother, Jack Eichel, Brock Nelson. Even Vincent Trocheck has multiple points. But I think it's hard to bet against Team Canada. I think they're still the favorite. I am praying we still get that Team USA versus Canada matchup because that is just peak cinema. And
I would take that. I would take that loss. I would take that loss, but it would be absolute cinema.
Yeah, because that Four Nations face-off, both games of the Four Nations face-off were must-see TV. Even though we lost in the final game to Canada in overtime, that was still a fantastic game. It was great for the game of hockey and for the NHL.
Let's go Friday.
Friday, USA versus Slovakia and Canada versus Finland. The winners of those games will go to the gold medal. The losers face each other for the bronze. And I basically said that it's a bit hard to bet against Canada. Anyway.
Is it though?
I'm certainly not betting on Canada.
Well, here's the thing. Now, maybe you could bet against Canada now because I picked them to win. And you know how I am. Anything I say is wrong. But anyway, speaking of predictions I have being wrong, I hope this next thing I'm about to say is wrong because I think, let me remind you guys, this is the first time in 12 years NHL players went to the Olympics. I think it's going to be one and done. Here's why. Canada faced Switzerland, and in that game, Los Angeles Kings defenseman who was playing for Switzerland, Swiss defenseman Kevin Fiala, suffered fractures in his left leg after taking a questionable hit from Tom Wilson. That included like Wilson's leg being wrapped around him, and Wilson giving him like additional shots as he was down on the ground. Listen, I'm not going to bitch about Wilson. His reputation is basically like
his leg was wrapped around him, and he gave him additional shots.
I'm sorry. His leg was wrapped around his leg. I see what you're doing there, Tom. Tom, I see what you're doing. But he was on the ground. But Fiala was on the ground, and Wilson gave him a couple more cross checks.
Okay.
I know the joke you're trying to make. I'm just trying to walk past. I'm just trying to like go
You're
past
just
it.
going deeper.
But
Uh,
anyway, I'm not going to bitch about like
forgive me.
Yeah, I'm not going to bitch about Wilson's dirty reputation. It's well known, but because of this injury and the injury that happened to Crosby later, that happened today at the time of this recording, I fear the NHL owners are not going to let the players play in the Olympics anymore. Because this precedent has been set in the past. Dominik Hasek he was on the Senators at the time. He suffered a groin injury in the 2006 Olympics. John Tavares, he was playing for the Islanders at the time. He suffered an MCL and meniscus tear in the 2014 Olympics.
Ooh.
So history has shown that owners might no longer want their players playing in this tournament because they risk the injuries that I listed above. Like that injury, Kevin Fiala is one of the Kings' better defensemen. This completely changes their season. And Crosby is still up in the air. We'll see if he suits up against Finland, but he's one of the league's golden boys. Yes, go on, Tom.
So another angle is like how. So you said that the coach for Team USA is the coach for the Rangers, right?
Yes.
How does that work out?
Just the organizations choose.
How does he keep the Rangers? Is there like stuff you don't want getting out there?
There's a stoppage of the NHL season stops for the Olympics.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying, but like, clearly there are coaches that are better than there are coaches that are better than other coaches. Correct?
Well, yeah.
So if he's coaching the Rangers and then he's working with all these other Americans, they don't all play for the Rangers, right?
No.
How do you prevent him seeing other things that these players are doing and vice versa? How do you prevent these players from taking what they've done in the Olympics back to their team?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but they just do it.
Do you know what they do? They just do it, and you have to deal with it. That's kind of the way it works. I mean, you're a coach.
No, I'm not like trying to like conspiracy, but I'm saying, but like,
I'm totally on the conspiracy train. What are you talking about?
I'm like, is that also another concern? Is like, like imagine if football was in the Olympics.
I never heard anyone like potentially bring that up as like some type of reason to keep NHL play.
Exploiting a plot, not a plot hole, but am I exploiting a hole that's never been exploited?
If you want to look at it that way, sure, Tom. We'll let you have that one. We'll let you have that one. But anyway, I feel like that's a topic. I feel like that's a topic maybe you guys could possibly chime in on. Like, do you think if you're an NHL owner, would you not want your players playing the Olympics because of these potential injuries?
Well, it depends. What do I care about as an owner? Do I care about profits?
I imagine
if my player is in my player is in the Olympics and they're doing well, is that going to sell more jerseys? Is that going to sell more tickets? Yes, there's the possibility of getting hurt, but there's a possibility of getting hurt playing in the NHL as well.
Yeah, but at the same time, that player might not be
whatever.
Yeah, but at the same time, that player might not be available for playoff runs to win a Stanley Cup, give you more playoff tickets.
There's a lot of hockey games, right?
There's 82 games in a season, correct?
So do players get taken out?
Yes, but it's the risk you're aware of when you play in a regular season. But I imagine owners, the frustration, you feel like, oh my God, this wasn't even like during one of the NHL games. He did this in the freaking Olympics, and this completely changed our season.
I see what you're saying, but does every owner want to win the cup?
Absolutely.
Does every NFL team want to win the Super Bowl?
Not 31 of them do.
I think maybe 30. I think some owners are more content with getting money from deals, getting money from sales.
I'd have to see how the NHL like makes their money in this,
because there's probably some team owners that made more money this year than the Seahawks.
You could say that, but at the same time, like I go back to the examples I talked about before with Dominik Hasek, with John Tavares, like the Islanders and the Senators were both definitely teams that are like, oh yeah, we don't want our players in the Olympics anymore. Okay, screw that.
Example: Jerry Jones. I'm sure Jerry Jones would love another Super Bowl. Does he really care?
Yes, he does. He's just very bad at it.
Yeah,
But anyway, Zach,
As he wipes his tears with hundreds.
Yeah. No, I think
Zach,
he
you chime
does
in.
care. Yeah, no. So I think he does care, and I believe that they do care. It's just they do value their money too. So it's just going to
at
be
the end of the day, they're a business.
it's just going to be an uncomfortable conversation that they're going to have because I think the difference between in the argument, Tom, is the fact that football is not in any Olympics. So it's got to be tough for them to look at this and say, well, okay, USA, like say they're really Team USA, right? Well, great, we won the gold medal, but now I'm missing my star player for the playoffs in the NHL. Kind of like that's their big money maker every year. The Olympics comes around every 4 years. Is
it any different than the four nation face off?
Well, that's
a good point.
That is a good point, but it's also the All-Star game. And I mean, look,
it's an exhibition game, just like the Olympics.
I don't consider it an exhibition game.
It doesn't help.
Does it
count? Does it count towards the season?
Towards the NHL season?
Yeah.
No.
Then it's an exhibition game.
Well,
I see his point.
I get that too.
All-Star games
does count. He's
All-Star games are
on his team. Yeah, but they're on a team too. Like they're like the USA team has a history too, so they're leaving their mark on another team.
But
so
that's
saying
where
I'm
it's
saying
an exhibition game. Just because it's not.
Yeah, but
just like the Clash and the All-Star race are exhibition races. They're not. They don't count towards the regular point season.
But they count toward the Olympics, which is a whole nother. You could call it another league. So like they're on another team. So then that's true. Yeah. If they're under, like, I don't know how. Again, I have no idea how. It's just going to be an uncomfortable conversation with the owners and who they want to send. Like maybe they disallow certain players but allow other players because they're paying them less or they're less skilled.
Well, I feel like at that point the union would get involved, right?
Yeah, their NHL has a players union.
Yeah, so it's just more. It's just complicated. But I'm not going to dismiss it as like they're an exhibition team and being on Team USA, but I can see from an NHL owner like who doesn't have a stake in it is like, well, yeah, it's an exhibition because it's not my team. So this is where it just comes down to a more personal opinion.
Absolutely.
Because I know that the US, they're playing for medals. They actually do have exhibition games in all Olympic or international sports. Yeah. Like there's always friendly soccer games between countries, and they're technically for nothing. Then there's qualifying matches, and there's actual group play, and then there's the medal rounds, like what we're at now at this point. So it counts for something. It's just not the NHL, so they have to really weigh out whether they want to do it or not. That's where that.
And I guess I misconstrued my argument. My argument wasn't like, oh well, it's not the NHL, they don't care. That's not what I was getting at. What I was getting at kind of is aligned more with what Zach's saying, that it is a hard conversation.
Yeah, the money thing is a big thing because like you said, it's all about selling. It's all about selling merch too.
I mean, hey, I have the gold medalist of hockey on my team. Like he won against the world and he's the best.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
absolutely. And this Fiala is one of the more important players for the Los Angeles Kings. 2014, John Tavares was the Islanders' best player. 2006, Dominik Hasek he was in the twilight of his career, but still considered by many to be. Some people do consider him to be the best goalie of all time, and it's kind of hard to argue against him. But yeah, that's why I feel like a little grim about the injuries with Fiala and Crosby. Crosby again, who he is. He's one of the NHL's golden boys. And I look at this from a Rangers fan perspective, like specifically the Fiala injury. It makes the Artemi Panarin trade look worse. Like, say they wait until the break is over and this injury to Fiala still happens. Panarin, he had control because of the no move clause. He might not want to go to the Kings after this. There could have been a chance to get a better package that's out the window because the Rangers are very quick to pull the trigger. Regardless, I didn't say this when I talked about prospect Liam Greentree when the trade was made last week or a couple weeks ago. I forget when it was. This kid has so much pressure on him to do well because Panarin was the one we traded for him. And in OHL with the Windsor Spitfires, he's coming off a great season last year with 119 points. It's like 60 or so games. Has a slow start this year, but he's coming off a wrist injury. I think he needed surgery. He's still averaging a point per game, and that average is going up. I want to be excited for him because of the chippy style, the great shot he's known for, and the point production he has. Like, he has a better career in the OHL than Brendan Othman, who I really hyped up and was disappointed by. But just like how the New York Jets are the place where quarterbacks go to die, the Rangers are the place where prospects go to fail. And we'll see if he breaks that cycle. And maybe Gabe Perreault can still do it. Obviously, I still expect moves to be made by the Rangers. I think Trocheck is next to the chopping block. And they might actually get a better trade for him than they did with Panarin because people view him as a glue guy and he doesn't have as much control. But, that's that with hockey. You guys got any questions?
No. You said that, so USA Slovakia is on Friday, correct?
Yes, all the games are on Friday. USA versus Slovakia and Canada versus Finland.
Well, I haven't watched, but I'll lock in because we're in the Final Four. Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's watch.
Yes, absolutely. Tom,
all right, ready for Zach? Can you kind of go over that song that you were thinking of? Just give like an acapella take.
Song?
Yeah, for the questions.
Oh my God, I forgot. Well, how did it go?
You
know what? We'll put it in post. We'll put it in post.
Okay. So first question comes from the great Big Sexy. A lockout is widely expected in Major League Baseball, with the current collective bargaining agreement expiring on December 1st, which can threaten the beginning of the 2027 MLB season. Do you guys think a new agreement will be reached before then? This is giving me deja vu.
How so?
The NASCAR charter agreement.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Speaking of the MLB Players Association, they made some news yesterday or today, I should say. Like, Zach, what exactly happened there?
It's Tony Clark, right?
He's retiring, right?
Well, he's been forced to retire.
He's been forced to retire because Tony Clark, former player, and he was the director of the MLB PA. He was having an affair with his sister-in-law, who was employed by the MLB. So basically, the dirty, just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Yeah. No, that's not a good sign. So now, because here's the deal, and I was listening to some podcasts about this as well. Basically, the players, because it's the Players Association, their union has no leader now. Their agreement is ending in what? Yes, 8 months.
December 1st,
9 months.
December 1st, 2026.
Yeah, so like 9-10 months. So they have to play baseball and focus on, how we're gonna get the revenue sharing and all the contracts and everything, and try not to get a salary cap, even though I think owners.
Yeah, I think a major thing that's going to be a key point in the Dodgers are basically, making the possibility of a salary cap, a hard salary cap being installed, a hot point of contention in negotiations. Because those of you who don't know, MLB does have a salary cap, but it's very soft. Like, if you go above it, you pay a luxury tax, and that luxury tax goes to like the poorer teams. Am I correct on that, Zach?
No,
I think I heard that.
I forget. I always forget how the luxury tax works. It doesn't. It's just the fact of there is no cap. Actually, it's just there is no actual cap. It's just there's a tax. So when you go over that luxury tax, you have to pay more. And there's teams that aren't even like sniffing it. And there's
the Pirates, the Orioles.
Okay. Well, do you want a quick summary?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. So the luxury tax is a financial penalty on teams that exceed set payroll thresholds designed to curb high spending and encourage competitive balance. Thresholds and penalties, 2024 was 237 million, 25 went up to 241, and in 26 there's multiple. There's 244, 264, 284, and 304 million. First time offenders are taxed 20% over on the overage. 30% on the second year, and 40% on the third. There are surcharges. Additional taxes apply for exceeding the threshold by 20 to 40, or by 12%, or over 60 million, 60%.
Right.
So meanwhile, the Dodgers are just like, I don't care.
The distribution, collected tax money is used to fund player benefits and in part distributed to lower revenue teams.
There you go.
So here's the deal, though. They are just breaking the system, and they're the only ones doing it. There's a couple teams that have done. I mean, the Mets are doing it too. And you mentioned the Orioles, Jack. Just a quick baseball note. Don't sleep on them. They just got Pete Alonso. They just
That's right. They did. I'm so used to them, like, not really spending. So
yeah, Ryan Helsley, Chris Bassett at pitcher. I know Ryan Helsley. Taylor Ward had a great year with the Angels, but the point is, I this isn't boding well. I don't know what's going to happen in 2027. I don't feel good thinking about it. That's where I'm at with it. The whole Tony Clark thing just made it even worse because it's like now the union has to. They have no rep. They're scrambling. They have no rep, and they're facing the owners and Rob Manfred, and Rob Manfred is on the owner's side. So there's just I don't know. I hope there's no cap. I don't think there should be a cap. I think there needs to be a floor because we have teams like the White Sox, the Pirates, the Rockies. They just don't care. They just become walking. The Brewers, did you say?
Yeah, aren't they like?
Well, they a lot of yes, and even the mid-major. The thing is, they're good, but even some of those good teams, they just don't dish out the money to the good players. Then you have the White Sox, the Rockies. Well, they're just in purgatory.
I mean, think about how quickly the Royals fell apart after they won the World Series in 2015.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, now they have Bobby Witt, and Salvador Perez is still there, but it's just. Then you have the Pirates who like seem to always come up with some random good prospects, like generational ones, Garrett Cole, and now they have Paul Skeens, and they just don't do anything. The Reds this past year, I'm actually glad they just signed someone. I forgot who. I know my buddy Joshua Tucker in my baseball group chat. He's going to be mad at me for not knowing it, but
give him hell, Josh.
The Reds have so much good young talent, and they didn't add any veterans. Who?
Chase Burns.
He's a young pitcher that's on the up and up. No, they signed someone recently. I forget who, but in general, the Reds have a good young core, and they just don't seem to add.
Nathaniel Lowe.
Oh yeah, like a buy low. Nathaniel Lowe is a buy low, but. The Reds just don't add the big name superstars. They don't give out big contracts. They just keep these guys and then they get rid of them when they can't pay them. So I don't know. The whole thing's a mess. We just got to hope the Dodgers don't get a three-peat. That would kill everyone's soul. And we're probably not going to have baseball in 2027. So that's the answer. But is there any more questions?
Yes, there's one more question from Josh Bloom.
Let's go, Josh.
I have a very quick answer for this. What's your favorite oddball Olympic sport? Curling.
What's the one where they run in the skis? That one.
Cross-country skiing?
Yeah, that's cross-country skiing, right?
That one. I saw a video of a dude just huffing it in skis, and I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Is that it? Did he have a gun?
I don't know. No, he didn't have a gun. No, that's even crazier. He was in a full bodysuit. He didn't have a gun.
But curling is
like, I don't know.
Sometimes they have like the shooting one. It's like the is that triath? I know they do the.
Maybe it is that, but I just saw a dude like hucking it up a hill, and I'm like, that's fucking wild.
But yeah, curling is probably like I want to try curling.
Curling looks hype now after the whole Canadian Sweden thing. Curling looks like I could get into it.
Yeah, for me,
Jack.
Doubles luge, just because I'm like, this cannot be comfortable for either one of you.
Are you talking about the skeleton?
The skeleton?
The luge, no, that's when they're on top of each other, right?
Yes, they're on top of each other. And I'm just like, it's like I was watching that with my wife, and
you were?
And yeah, we were, and we're both like, this cannot be comfortable. Like, how are they steering? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it requires a lot of talent, but There was something funny we made note of. It's, geography lesson. Germany is right just north of Italy. We noticed that the Italians had German last names and the Germans had Italian last names.
That's awesome. They don't even know who they are.
Right. Anyway, so that wraps it up for questions for this week. Unfortunately, there were no voicemails. Remember, every day that we record, we'll put out a story early in the day to ask us questions that you'll have answered on the podcast. Alternatively, in that story, there'll be a link down at the bottom that takes us to our fabulous website. And when you go to the website, at the bottom right corner, there'll be a microphone icon. Click on that, and you can leave us a voicemail, which will be heard on the podcast and answered by us.
Yeah, you get your voice actually heard on NTS. All right.
Yeah.
We all good here, gentlemen?
I think
Absolutely.
so. Time to wrap this
All
up,
right.
Mac.
Yep. Reminder, this episode was brought to you by Recoil Garage. Book your service today at recoilgarage.com. If you made it this far, thank you very much for listening. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Nerds Talking Sports, on Twitter and Instagram at N_T_S_podcast, and to subscribe to us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. This is JackKnife alongside the Zach Daniels and Tommy Joe. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.